Welcome to Caching Waves. So this is an update for Bitcoin. I wanted to show you all-time previous highs and how we tended to break them. And I'm out on BLX, the Brave New Coin Index, and I wanted to show you how they looked previously in bull markets. So as you can see in this high here from when we finally broke of June 2011 here in 2013, you can see we almost had no pullbacks. So I want to show you that. The last significant pullback was a 50% drop. And even around the high, we just kept ticking up, kind of like we are right now. And our last drop, when we banged against that high, was only about 15%, as you can see. And we just had several 1-2s most likely in a row. You can see we just came up kind of choppy and then just ate through it, right? Let's look at our next high in April 2013, how we broke that. Same idea, we just ate through, no real pullbacks. A little bit here, 20%. But that looks like a 1-2, 1-2, 3, 4, 5. And our first 1-2 here. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 4, 5, 4, 5. But you can see we didn't really get any pullbacks. So this is partially why you see me keep counting those 1-2s, because I'm just using history as a reference, right? Let's look at this November 13 high when we broke that. Looks like this was the first one we actually had a decent pullback on. It looks like that's a running flat there, so you can see most likely. And the first pullback was about 36%, and then we protected that low, right, and just went. This is more of a choppy beginning. Looks like some sort of diagonal, and we went up from there. But you can see we just hovered around, protected the previous low, went. You had no chance to buy pretty much between over a 200% move, except for this tiny 1-2 here. Right here. This tiny 1-2, which was probably, let's see here. Just curious. Let's go on linear. Probably have to go to linear to even get a decent retracement. Look, between the 236 and the 382. I just wanted to show you that proof why I say you got to look at pretty shy retracement sometimes in bull markets. So there's that one. Let's look at this one. This was the 20K high we ate through. Same thing, you see? We bumped up against it, had a flat. Almost no correction. 17%. And again, you only had first drop and then the running flat protect that low. That's all the opportunity you had to get in. Next opportunity was over here. Same, very shy retracements. Very, very shy. And since we broke that high, moved 200% above, right? With no real option to buy except way up here once it was already gone. Let's pull back, see where we're at, and we're coming in with strength, similar to previous highs, except for this one. Coming in with strength, and the current count, coming in with strength, coming in with strength. You can see we just kind of ate through it, maybe got a slight opportunity previously, but not much, right? So I just wanted to show you that and why I always biasly go to very shy retracements. I'm in this current count, and you saw we might even get only like between a 236 and a 382, and that is obviously with the bias that we're in a bull market. If we're not in a bull market, obviously something else can happen. But I showed you previously in most bull markets, the best we ever got as a correction at all-time highs was a running flat. That was the best we got. So just wanted to show you that So when I say these could be 1 2 1 2 1 2s, you can see why I'm putting it that way. Because in previous all-time highs, we had a shy retracement, then we moved 200%, right? In most of them. So if this wave count ends up panning up and we get that 200 above, you know, you're looking, I don't want to judge that far above, but that's just what happened previously. So there might not really be many opportunities to buy in if this really does take off in nested 1-2s. So the best count I've come up for this area that would make sense, just pay attention to this last wave, okay? That would make sense. Even this 3 doesn't make any sense. We're projecting lots of 1-2s, basically. So that was our blue 1-2, our green 1-2. I said this was most likely a 1-2. There was our next 1-2. I still think it's a 1-2. I'm just looking at the areas, you know, when I project a 1 and a 2, I pulled the pivots from the 1 and the 2, and if it's a 1 and a 2, I usually look between the 618 and the 1-to-1, right, for our next 1-2. And if you look at that, bang, there it is, right? Sorry. Bang, there it is, 618, second 1-2. Only count that makes sense with this wave, right? It's not a 5th, we didn't come back, so most likely another 1-2. Okay, we have 5 waves up in it. It's a pretty nice pattern. This can't be a triangle, so it has to be another 1-2 in my point of view. It's not a 4th wave, right? This was a clean 5 wave. It's not a 4th wave. So this is the best I was able to do based on the action overnight, and it will eventually clear itself up, but I just wanted to show you those previous bull markets so you can see how difficult it is to get confident in that count at all-time high breakouts. That's just gonna barely give you any corrections, and you're just gonna take off, you know, and good luck trying to catch it if you don't catch it now. But yeah, this is currently the count I have on this last small wave. This is a diagonal 1-2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for our 3rd, pull back for our 4th, and our 5th, breaking near all-time highs here. And maybe we get that sideways correction at or above, maybe, or we just eat through it. So have this currently as a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So once we get this 3 and we get the pullback, I might start buying at this 4th wave if we get that. Just in case when we get this 5th, we just get a very tiny 20% retracement and we go. It's probably going to be my plan on this, but I encourage you to go look at BLX and look at previous bull markets. You can go down to you can go check them out and see how you would have played them yourself. But this can't be a, I guess it could be a WXY, but it's just such a short correction, as you can see, and this is playing out nicely as a 5-wave pattern. WXY, yeah, but as you can see, it's quite difficult. This is potentially, and I sound silly saying it, you know, I really do, but it's potentially like 5 nested 1-2s, right? 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2 3 4 5 6 1 2 3 4 5 nested 1-2s. Is that what we're gonna get? We're just waiting for this last 5 wave to go before we really go. But that's the path I'm currently tracking on this last 5 wave move in white. 1 2 1 2 3 4 5 4 5, and that's our all-time high line you see in green there. So that's why I'm tempted to buy at the 4th. That way, if we pop up, if we don't really get a correction, I can I can snipe it, or if this is actually like a WXY or something, weird correction that got truncated because it's so bullish. Very difficult to say. But let's go back to BLX. But yeah, just take a look at yourself. Go check them out. Tell me what your count would be on those areas. What would your count be right here, right? From this low here. What would your count be right here? What would your count be right here? Right? Just with something so impulsive, when it really gets going, it's very difficult to have a good count. But I would say it's, you look at it, it's coming in strong compared to previous ones. Look at the strength of that coming into the all-time high. Looks pretty good there. So yeah, I just wanted to share that with you guys. I'll go back to that, looking for 5 up for potential 5-1-2s. I don't like saying that. I really don't. I feel kind of silly, but I have to go with previous history. And that's saying if, big if, this is a you know, the next cycle bull market, that's a pretty reasonable count looking at history. So I'm going to go with that, and we've got targets at, you can see the 1.618 there at 68,859 for our fourth wave pullback to around 65 if we even get that. Remember, we barely got anything more than like 15% at the most, and most of them at the high were like 8%. So we'll see. Our target for our 5th of that is between 71 and 73. So we'll see if we come up there and actually can get a correction above, or if we just go, right? All right, guys, that's it for this one. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.